Welcome, Sagittarius. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, and I pulled for you the Queen of Pentacles as your overall energy for this full moon in Libra. This is you feeling good about the work that you do to be practical and produce results. You feel good about the process of nurturing others to play their part, to orchestrate the timing of efforts so that they are maximizing the benefits of your efforts and of the rewards that you expect, the fruits of your labor. You feel good when you are not only practical and resourceful, but when you can maximize the productivity of others as well. There is a joy in the discipline. There is a joy in being grounded in the 3D, in the real world, that makes you feel that you are caring for others, that you are nurturing and being nurtured, that you are finding a concrete expression of your love that others can be supported by. There's a tremendous sense of accomplishment that you value and that you model for others who are impressed by your grace, your poise, your dedication, your perseverance, and your consistency. You actually believe in the value of the natural world. You take your cues from that world. You mimic the life of plants, animals, and social organization in a way that valorizes achievement. This is a general reading, Sagittarius. It's not going to resonate for all of you. If you're interested in a personal reading, information for that is in the description box below. For those of you that know me, this is a return to a simpler format, giving me a little more flexibility as I am negotiating a number of changes in the way that I am sharing information with you. So I value the time that you spend with me. In your social identity, the way you identify yourself, the way others see you, the Empress card is a marvelous sense of the empowerment that is behind your expression of your devotion, care, loyalty, and dedication to a task. The power behind that is one of being in complete flow with your natural surroundings, with nature, with a capital N, with the flow of the universe. You see the order, an order of grace, love, aesthetic beauty, harmony, completion. This is really a concern with loving and being loved, caring and being cared for, so that you understand that you are a part of not only a kind of harmony and balance within you, but the expression of that as justice in the world. You are not only maximizing the rewards that you and others can appreciate, but you are allowing yourself to be loved and appreciated. You're seeing that your efforts are only the external manifestation of a far greater love that you not only have for yourself, but that you have for the world, for your life. In the first house, the Chariot card is indicating your focus. And this is interesting because I see you applying what you've been able to learn, grow, and achieve to a larger, perhaps a global community. You're able to share, bring your insight as a result of your very unique expression to an audience that's very far afield from where you are located. You may be saying no as often as you say yes. And this is for you very important as a way of not only disassociating yourself from those who see you as a fixer, who see you as someone who is always there and reliable for support and for whatever assistance is needed in the moment. You are closing the door on that kind of universal availability all the time, which perhaps in the past you believed was an expression of your love, but you now see it as a way in which you were unable to choose or prioritize yourself, your needs, and your goals. In order to switch to a place where you understand the centrality of your self-respect flows from your ability to honor your potential, honor your higher self, build that relationship that lets you create the space you need to exercise your gifts and talents on your own behalf. It is automatic for the Sagittarians I'm reading for that you are doing what you do on behalf of the world. This is an expression of your love for the world. You're an expression of how you understand love, how you express that in your being. But in order to share that, to reach that, to project that into the world in a holistic way, it requires you to wall off the inappropriate requests, even demands for your support. So you're very, very focused, very much accepting of your unique status, no longer trying to fit in with others. And the fourth house of your home, your domestic environment, your roots or foundation, the Page of Wands is about this new alignment with your own goals and wishes. The inspiration you are allowing yourself to percolate as the result of this way that you that you are now accepting who you are fully. In the past, my sense is that you saw yourself as the one capable and responsible for others. And because of that, because in many cases of your multiple talents, gifts, your ability to step up and do the work as required, you felt bound to the requirements of the group, the community, the family, whoever demanded your attention, whoever you felt responsible for. But now you actually see yourself as a new version of this special and unique person, an empowered version in which you understand the necessity of prioritizing on your goals, the importance of your reaching your destination in order to live, share, give in the way that you now are understanding you are a particular beacon or messenger of. This feels as though you are you have consciously reincarnated in this life from a very, very old time, a very distant time in the past. And what's coming through for some of you is Egypt, that you were an architect of the some aspect of Egyptian civilization. And when I think architect, I think of building something. Of course, the Egyptians are known for, among many things, the pyramids. And there's something about the knowledge that you gained in that lifetime to manifest phenomenal buildings that still exist, still inspire us. You're bringing something about that knowledge base into this lifetime, and that can perhaps explain why it's taken such a long time for you to be in a place of truly understanding why you're here. Many of you are only now grasping your purpose, your true soul's purpose, after a variety of experiences that have bounced you around quite a bit. And you now are seeing with clarity that you're here to uh, share, motivate, lead others through some kind of knowledge that you are building, growing, beginning, initiating. In the 7th house, your significant relationships, the Ace of Wands, is almost talking about the portal that this potential has really allowed you to step into. You're giving yourself permission to connect with your higher self, to accept a momentous potential that you now see. You're now threading together some disparate experiences, and they can be in the realm of relationships, they can be in the realm of literal work that you've done that feels like it's been peripatetic, that has taken you to various places, different professions, different arenas of life, and from which you have grasped just enough to understand that perhaps that wasn't your place. And you were always questing for more meaning, more clarity, more accomplishment that you could access. And you've created that time. You are creating that moment for yourself now as you've stepped into your true power. There's something about goddess power that is helpful to you in this particular time, social environment that we're in, that protects you, that nurtures you, that keeps you focused on the exploration or the expression of your many gifts. However, the energy that I'm challenging is very much energy that we associate with the masculine. You are doing it in whatever body you inhabit, regardless of the gender, in female form as part of the message, part of the guidance that you're sharing with others. Your gender in no way contains or describes or defines your capacity. Your mission is about building a new world to a certain extent, a new paradigm of understanding, exploring perhaps and stringing together ideas, beliefs from many times in the past that is requiring your presence in our social environment now. I'm going to hope that this is resonating for you, Sagittarius. If so, please like this video, please share this with others, and please subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot, and I pull the Peace card. I'm a being of love, and I release all negative energy. There is a decidedly fresh tone to this forward address that I believe your soul is making to a world community. You're locating yourself somewhere on the planet where you've been before. You quite possibly don't live there, are not a member of that geographic community, but you understand that you belong and that your source derives from that cultural milieu. In many ways, this is how you're gaining the peace of a life that may have appeared for some of you to be somewhat itinerant, somewhat almost vagabond-like. That's perhaps a little pejorative, but you've kind of moved and bounced from, I often talk about the Jack or Jane of all trades paradigm, where you are capable, you are enthusiastic, you are well-liked, you're popular, you're a hard worker, and you have been exposed to a variety of skills, environments, and professions from which you were there long enough to get the general picture and gain something of that. It also can be of matches from various lifetimes where you revisited an experience in another life through a job or in a profession that exposed you to similar features of this other work or knowledge that you've gained in the past. Some of you are quite well educated, if that means as an autodidact or as having gained information and access to a variety of educational institutions, vocational training, a variety of certificates that basically emphasize the same thing, which I'm believing is a very heightened creative expression. The way that you put all of your knowledge and experiences together is very unique, and that's part of what you're struggling to coalesce in this lifetime. In the first house, the Chariot card is clarified by the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords is about a decision you're making. It may not feel like, oh, let me choose A or B, as in a clear crossroads. And I think of Robert Johnson, the blues singer. When I think of that, meeting the devil at the crossroads, I love that story, that mythology. But this is more about a shift in your perception that has you considering the path you're on in new ways, taking you further and further afield into an area of sudden illumination, enlightenment, or growth. This can be a particular spiritual practice that is starting to emerge as taking you on a journey. After all, Sagittarius, you are a traveler. By nature, you're an adventurer, and I see you exploring the possibilities of a new adventure. You've had so many adventures when you consider a variety of lifetimes I believe some of you are very aware of. And in that way, you are moving into a more hermetic direction, more inclusion in secret practices or hidden practices from ordinary. And this may concern you because your natural instinct is to be out there in the world. The charioteer is being cheered on by crowds because of masterful control of the vehicle. This is you separating yourself from the crowd more than you already have in the past. And so you are a little concerned about how this new direction, this new skill set is emerging and the implications of it for your social world. In the fourth house, the Page of Wands is clarified by the Empress. We have the Empress twice. This is so incredibly powerful because it is really putting an emphasis on the planet Venus. And for those of you that have access to your birth chart, that know a little bit about your astrology, I imagine that the planet Venus is very prominently placed in your chart. This, at what I believe this is impacting for you now, is the way in which you are finding your creative expression as it threads through this multitude of experiences and lives that you've lived, so that your ability to tell the story, express this in some way, create an image or write a book, do a podcast, or make a movie is really critical. And those are just examples. I can only think of a few things, but those of you with a prominent Venus are not only extremely sensitive and highly talented to aesthetic harmony of one sort or another, and that can be in any arena, but you're also incredibly attuned to the notion of justice, of balance, of fairness, of equity. So this can also manifest as your advocacy in the world, your ability to fight for the rights of others, to support others in their fight to be heard. So this is an interesting way in which you are finding expression perhaps that is perhaps a little different from what you have expressed in the past. Because for many of the Sagittarians I'm reading for, you already have creative talents. You're familiar with expressing them in one form or another. And you may have had to put much of that aside as you have been on a more powerful healing journey over the last, at least decade. Remembering that Pluto in Capricorn, where it has just recently ended its transition, Pluto was in Sagittarius before that. So for some of you, we're talking 2-3 decades of phenomenal internal change, a way of orchestrating this collective unconscious content that you've been privy to through a long millennia of physical experience on this earth. And for some of you previous to that, that has is finding a voice through whatever your practice is now. Whether you're a business person, you have your own business, whether you're a mathematician, a child care worker, a nursery school teacher, it doesn't matter what the form is, you're finding a new way of creating that, practicing that, and expressing its implications for others in a larger community. In the 7th house, the Ace of Wands is clarified by the Hermit card. In order to channel and direct the experiences of so many lives, so much experience, even if you don't believe in reincarnation, and we're speaking of the many lives you've lived in this life, which is entirely feasible and applicable to this reading, you require some real sacred space in order to process that. You are looking within for your own answers appropriately, as the Hermit does. But that lantern that you are now holding, that star that is lighting your path, is leading you to sharing this information with others. And that is at the core of your current focus right now. How do you share what you know, at whatever stage it's at? Because that's also part of what you're balancing in your own personal experience, your perceptive experiences. Do I know enough? Who am I to teach others? Who would I teach when I still rely on my own teachers? Be they inner guides, be they ancestral guides, whoever they are, where am I? And that's part of preparing you to move in a direction where you document this experience, you share this, you paint this, you write this. Whatever your story is, you are considering how it's going to be accomplished. In the 10th house, the Empress is clarified by the Hierophant. And this is finally the commitment to learning/teaching. This continuum of learning, growing, teaching, sharing is one that you are committing to. Because it's linked up with the Empress, it feels again to be very expressive. And so I want you to also be aware that I see motherhood, parenting, as highly creative. One of the most challenging and creative jobs we can do is as a parent. And that parenting can be your responsibility or sovereignty over a family, a school, a classroom, a business. You can parent your employees. Of course, I'm saying that in the most positive way that I can, because we really don't want our boss to be our daddy or mommy. But you are understanding that any enterprise you're involved with is about advancing, progressing all the members involved, so that you may be the conceiver of an idea, but the actual commitment to sharing that with others is part of the commitment that you're making. Whatever you learn has to be passed along. That's the purpose of knowledge, wisdom, to be shared, to be moved through, so that others can benefit from our experiences, what we've learned. I'm going to finish this reading with a crystal oracle and hope this has been helpful for you. And I pulled the Libyan gold tektite, and the key word is manifestation. I manifest positive outcomes, incomes too for many of you. So if you've enjoyed this content, please check this out. And in the future, thank you so much for being here. Until next time, namaste.